What is going on, y'all? Welcome back to the Truthfully Me Podcast with your host, Steph Kirby. I am so happy to be doing yet another episode. Despite missing another week, life has been busy, work has been crazy, so I appreciate y'all's understandings. If you are new here, I just want to go ahead and welcome you. I hope you are ready to find your God-given voice, as that is what my goal is here. I have asked God to use me as his vessel so I can speak words of wisdom into you and hopefully plant that tiny little mustard seed in your heart and allow him to water it and allow it to flourish into something beautiful. If you are returning, as always, I am so grateful for your love and your support. As you all know by now, when we start off an episode here on the Truthfully Me podcast, we read a Bible verse. Today, I'm going to read out of Ecclesiastes. It's going to be a bit of almost, I want to say like a Bible study. I'll kind of dive into it deeper, but we're reading our verse of the day out of Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 18. And it is reading, "The greater my wisdom, the greater my grief. To increase knowledge only increases sorrow." And why I'm specifically reading out of Ecclesiastes today is I have been having this overwhelming feeling of I've gotten super close into my faith with God, and I'm in my word and I'm reading and I'm learning and I'm just having all these different things hit me at once. And I have found myself wanting to completely pull away from the world. Like, I want to delete my social media, but I kind of can't because this is where I'm, this is my platform for my podcast. But I've thought about it. I've deleted the apps. I've muted notifications. I completely want to disconnect. I've stopped listening to certain music. I've stopped partaking into certain things that were normal in life for me in the past. I've completely wanted to just be different and just dedicate everything to God. And as I gain wisdom from being in my word, I hear little things like in music and movies and shows. And I just wonder, how did I never see this before? How is this normal for me before? I hear things and I'm like, whoa, hold on. Turn it off. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that because I don't need my spirit to be around that in my home. It doesn't need to be in my home. Certain people that I've had to distance myself from and just a lot of things, y'all. A lot of things. That was something that I knew in my heart. I knew it was right. I just didn't have the words of comfort to feel like this is normal until one day I was just praying and I was like, I need a new word. I just need a new word. And I opened my book to Ecclesiastes 1 and I read and I'm reading and I'm reading. And that's why I say it's going to be kind of like a Bible study because I'm going to read from chapter 1 and I'll stop and I'll kind of explain what I felt in those moments. Pretty much how Ecclesiastes just brought me comfort. This book brought me comfort and let me know that what I'm feeling, the overwhelming feeling of not wanting to live in the world anymore and why this knowledge that I've gained from here feels so overwhelming. I got it out of Ecclesiastes. And I think it's important for me to share it because, again, I don't know if anyone else is at this point in their journey and maybe this is the word you need to hear to feel comforted. And we're going to dive in. We're going to start reading from the very beginning of Ecclesiastes. My title here for the beginning is Everything is Meaningless. So Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 2. It reads, "Everything is meaningless, says the teacher, completely meaningless. What do people get for all their hard work under the sun? Generations come and generations go, but the earth never changes." That right there, I immediately stopped in my tracks. I was like, oof, this is going to be good. Generations come and generations go, but the earth never changes. I don't know my great-grandparents. I'm just going to put that out there. I know my parents, obviously, and my grandparents on both sides. I am blessed to have both sides of my grandparents. But I don't know their parents. I don't know what they did for work. I don't know what they worked so hard for. I don't know what their goals were in life. I don't know if they've achieved those goals. And they didn't get to take anything with them. They took nothing. They took nothing with them. Not even the stories to tell their great-great-grandchildren. And that was sad. That was really sad. I honestly was like, oh my gosh. Because immediately I was like, there's things that I'm aware of. There's things that I've changed, but there is more. You always have more work to do, of course. And in reading that, I realized there is more that I need to change, because me personally, I've been so fixated on a lot of things financial, and we'll get into it. But let me not get ahead of myself. Let me continue. The sun rises and then the sun sets, then hurries around to rise again. The wind blows south and then turns north. Around and around it goes, blowing in circles. Rivers run into the sea, but the sea is never full. Then the water returns again to the rivers and flows out again to the sea. Everything is wearisome beyond description. No matter how much we see, we are never satisfied. No matter how much we hear, we are not content. History merely repeats itself. It has all been done before. Nothing under the sun is truly new. Sometimes people say, here is something new, but actually it is old. Nothing is ever truly new. We don't remember what happened in the past, and in the future, no one will remember what we are doing now. And I said, oh, Holy Spirit, Jesus, take the wheel, because I feel, me personally, here I am sharing my personal, what I felt reading this. I have always been grateful for my journey. I have always been grateful that I never go hungry. My light bill is always on. My AC is always cool. I always have warm sheets on the bed, clean sheets, clean clothes, clean everything. I am grateful. But sometimes I found myself getting upset because I have said this with my own tongue. I work so hard. I work hard to get paid, pay my bills, and have nothing left to enjoy. And by enjoy, I mean put into savings, because of course we're all wanting a house. We want to save up for things. And yes, that's normal. Reading that, I thought, for what? For what? Okay, a house can come, a house can happen, just the same way this apartment here happened. Because when I was 17 years old, I didn't know how this was going to happen. I didn't know how exactly I would get my first apartment. This is my fourth apartment. I didn't even know how I was going to get to my first one. God made a way. So, and it didn't involve, I promise y'all, I did not have a penny saved in the bank. I don't know how I pulled it off, but that was not because of a savings. It was because that was God's will. That was what he wanted for me. So he made it work. So it just brought realization to myself that I work hard because I work for God. I do my job not for me, but because he gave me the opportunity. He gave me these doors to open, walk through, and be blessed to do this job that I do love. I love my job. And it does pay the bills. And I don't have to worry about going hungry. And I don't have to worry about sweating because it's almost summertime, or freezing because the heater doesn't work. I don't have to worry. If it is not in God's will, no matter what we do, if it is not what he truly intends for us, that door is not going to open. I promise you, he will not give you those keys. And it's not because he doesn't want you to have it. It's because it is not your time yet. There is a timing for everything. If you feel your blessings are being blocked, it is for a reason, because that is not the blessing that he has for you. There's something bigger. I'm going to read the study Bible down here. So it kind of breaks down, does anything matter, from verses 2 to 18. At some point in life, most people wonder, why am I so burnt out and unfulfilled? What is life about anyway? Does any of it matter? Solomon acknowledges these feelings and challenges us to take a hard look at our lives and figure out what will last. So it ties into what I just said. Will the money last? Will the house last? Will the social media last? Will the fame last? Will the clout last? What will last? For me personally, after reading this and really dissecting through it, I concluded, my only correct answer that I could give, the only thing that will last is my relationship, my faithfulness to God. That's it. Because I can't take any of this, none of it, with me. But what is inside, my soul, my spirit, that I can take with me. And what I feed into my soul and my spirit now, that determines what goes with me, where I go. And this is where we get into our verse of the day. To greater my wisdom, the greater my grief. To increase knowledge only increases sorrow. We can really tie that verse into more than just what happens generations to come. It's literally how I explained it earlier. I tied that verse into the music I used to listen to, the shows I used to watch, the movies I used to watch, the people I used to hang around, because you are aware of too much, and that brings a heaviness, but that heaviness is completely normal. So I leave this episode with the same challenge that Solomon had given us, and asking us to take a hard look at our lives and asking, what will last? Because life is truly too short. And I fully believe we all know we have a spirit within us, a soul within us. This is our opportunity to enjoy life in flesh. This is our one opportunity. It's almost like it would just be a waste to spend this lifetime focused on the materials, focused on the approval of others, focused on criticizing our bodies. Every day we look in the mirror. Life is so short, and none of these thoughts matter when you go. You don't think about these memories when you go, and you can't take anything with you. So again, it's not to say don't work hard for your goals and don't strive for the best. Just try to not let that consume you, because you might spend your whole life just hyper focused on being the millionaire of the family. And then once you reach that goal, you look back and what was it really for? What was it really for? You're now at the top of the mountain and you're looking around and nobody's up there with you. Nobody's there. Nobody's there with you. And now it's too late to go back. You can't go back in time. You can't say yes to that outing with that group of people. You can't say yes to that spontaneous trip anymore. It's all gone. All the opportunities are gone to just live your life to the absolute fullest. And for me personally, living a life that's dedicated to living for God and, taking those travel trips and not worried about my credit and all these things, you know what I'm saying? So truly just embrace your life. Live like it is literally your last day. Every day, just be happy every day. So again, what will last? That is the question for the week. I want y'all to really sleep on that, think about that, read into this book. I really think it is really good. Again, this is Ecclesiastes. This is literally just chapter 1. We have more. I think I'm going to read the rest of Ecclesiastes because I have some highlights in this, baby. Seriously, like the word is so good in Ecclesiastes. It is slept on because I don't hear enough people talk about it. So I think I will continue to kind of break this down each week, what I found special to me, what I feel may help someone. But yeah, that's today's episode. I really hope you all enjoyed how short, sweet, simple, to the point it was. I feel like it's a very powerful message in this, to just not take life so serious. Enjoy life in the flesh while we have it. So God bless you guys. I really hope and pray that you guys have a fantastic rest of your week. I hope you are continuing to be strong in this new year. We are now in February. And I just really pray that God blesses you all for the remainder of this month, as well as the rest of the year. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode, and I will see y'all next week.